Welcome everyone to this remedial math session. Today our focus will be on questions 1 to 3 of our GCE O-level past paper October-November 2021 syllabus D. I'm Teacher Wilton and this is brought to you courtesy the Math Ministry at www.maths123.org. You can continue to visit our website for further solutions to the rest of this past paper. So the focus today is on Psalms 1:1, which says, "Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly." So you are blessed because you do not follow the advice of the ungodly. And even as we focus today on this session, we're going to agree that at the end of this session, we'll be able to subtract two fractions, multiply two decimal numbers, arrange numbers in ascending order, as well as calculate the percentage of a number. So let's go straight into question number 1. We need to find the difference between these two fractions. And we're going to first take the LCM of these two numbers, 8 and 4. And if by chance you forget how to find your LCM, 8 and 4, you can go through the division. 2a divided by 2 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And you continue. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And then you complete. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So you continue dividing from the smallest possible factor all the way down until you have a remainder of, you have 0 as a remainder. So to find the LCM, you multiply these numbers here, 2 by 2 by 2, which is 8. And you divide each denominator by your LCM, which is 8. So 8 divided by 8 is 1, and then you multiply your answer by the numerator. 1 by 7 is 7. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 2 by 1 is 2. Now, what I realized while teaching students is that if we do not have a firm grasp of these foundational areas, for example, multiplication, knowing a multiplication times table, or at least being very good at using our calculator to multiply numbers and so on, then that in itself will pose a challenge. So I'm making the assumption that you can multiply your numbers and divide and so on. So let's continue. And of course, when we subtract 2 from 7, we will get 5. So our answer is 5/8. In part B of question number 1, we are now asked to multiply these two numbers here. So this first answer is 5/8. And let's multiply these two numbers here, 0.08 by 0.2. Now, it is always good to make these numbers whole numbers, right? Or if you wish, you can convert them to decimals as a decimal fraction, or let's say as a fraction rather. So 0.08 is the same as, since you have two decimal places, you are dividing by 100. Notice the number of decimal places will determine the number of zeros you add with this 1. So if the number was 0.008, you have 3 decimal places after the point. So you'll be dividing by 1 along with 3 zeros, which is 1,000. And of course, you put back your whole number version, which is the 8 as the numerator. So this 0.08 is the same as 8 over 100. Similarly, let's write 0.2 as a fraction. Notice we only have 1 decimal place following that point. So it will be 10. And we write the 2 as the numerator. So that becomes 2/10. So let's focus on multiplying 8 over 100 which is the 0.08, by 2 over 10, which is the 0.2. Let's do that across here. So 8 divided by 100 multiplied by 2 over 10, right? So 0.08 multiplied by 0.2 is the same as, okay, so here we're going to multiply numerators together. 8 multiplied by 2, 16. 100 multiplied by 10, 1000. So answer becomes 16 over 1000. And of course, when we divide this, we are dividing by 1000. So it means that we are moving that decimal point, which is understood after the whole number 16.0. 16, you're moving that 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3. And of course, you'll add an additional 0 here to compensate for that extra decimal place. So therefore, your answer will be 0.016. Now, your solutions and your multiplication and so on can always be double checked using your calculator. But your working must be shown. Right, so let's look at question number 2. So this solution here will give us 0.016. Let's go to question number 2. Write these numbers in order of size. So what this simply means is that you must arrange these numbers. This is starting with the smallest, so that is in ascending order. And you can determine how to write those numbers by having 3 ways of approaching this problem. You can write all the numbers as fractions. You can write all the numbers, yes, as fractions with a common LCM, lowest common multiple. You can write all the numbers expressed as a decimal, or you can write as decimal numbers, or you can write all the numbers as percentages. So let's look at those 3 approaches, and you will choose whichever one you are most comfortable with. So let's go with the fraction version of the problem first. So 3/4 as a fraction, 3 divided by 4 is 0.75. This is 0.83. 17 divided by 20 is 0.85. Of course, you are using your calculator to assist you with this. 82% is the same as 82 divided by 100. Of course, if the point is here, it goes 2 places to the left. So this is equivalent to 0.82. And this last one is 0.8. And seeing that all the others are expressed written in 2 decimal places, let's put in the. So let's look at the numbers after the point. Here you got 0.75, 83, 0.83, 0.85, 0.82, and 80. So let's write in ascending order, starting with the smallest. So the smallest will be 0.75. So that will go first. Right? Now, if we are writing our solution, let's write it based on how the numbers are stated in the original question. So we wouldn't necessarily put the 0.75. Let's write the 3/4. So 3/4 will come first. After 75, you got 80. So it will be 0.8. After 80 follows 82. So it will be 82%. After 82 follows 83, so it will be 0.83. And after 83 follows 85, so then it will be 17 over 20. So first of all the numbers here are written as decimal numbers, decimals. Each of these numbers is expressed to 2 decimal places. So if we are rewriting this using fractions with the same LCM, it will be 75 over 100. Then we got 83 over 100, 85 over 100, 82 over 100, and 80 over 100. So again, all you need to do is to consider just the numerator, seeing that we have a common denominator, all divided by 100. And you will again appreciate that the 75 over 100, which is the 3/4, will come first, followed by your 80, which is 0.8, come second, and so on. Right, and last but not least, you can express each of these numbers as percentages. So 3/4, which is 0.75, is the same as 75%. This one will be 83%. Of course, you multiply your decimal numbers by 100 to convert it to a percent. 0.85 by 100 is 85%. This one is already stated as a percent, 82%. And finally, this one will be 80%. So you got 3 methods to choose from. Arrange them using decimal numbers, using fractions. And finally, you can arrange your numbers using, by expressing all of them as percentages. And remember, in your final answer, you must arrange your original numbers that are given, right? From smallest to largest. So choose any one, and you will be able to work the problem correctly. Okay, let's go to our final question today. We are asked to work out what is 45% of 30. Right, so of means multiply. So we are definitely going to multiply 45% by 30. And of course, to do that, it is more convenient perhaps to express 45% as a fraction. So let's recap. If you have a percentage and you want to express it as a fraction, you rewrite by simply using 100 as your denominator, and you keep the whole number part. So it will be 45 over 100. And of course, dividing by 100 means that you can now convert it to a decimal, right? And this converted to a decimal will be 0.45. 45 divided by 100, 0.45. And of course, if we are working this way now, and let's go back. Let's go back here. If you want a decimal and you want to write it as a fraction, you would do what? You count the number of decimal places. Remember, I told you that earlier. There are 2, so you put 2 zeros and you keep the whole number part. And if you have a fraction and you want to write it as a percentage, you multiply by 100. So this 45 over 100 multiplied by 100 will be 45%. Okay, which is given any problem. So let's go back to the sum. Well, we can divide by 10. 30 divided by 10 will be 3. 100 divided by 10 will be 10. So this becomes 45 multiplied by 3 divided by 10. So let's work that. 45 by 3. You can work that on your calculator. 5 3s are 15, or you could work it out as shown. 4 3s are 12, it's 135. And then you divide that by 10. No, the point is right there. If you divide it by 10, you move to the left 1 decimal, one position to the left. So that will be 13.5. That's our final answer. So 13.5. Okay, so that concludes our remedial work today on those first 3 questions. Remember, you can get us at www.maths123.org. And remember what the word of God says, right? You are blessed. Psalms 1:1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. So until next time, be blessed. Bye for now.